Welcome to PBILaundry.com, the coin laundry experts. I'm Chuck Post and this is Chris Mason. The laundry industry consists of over 30,000 independently owned necessity of life service businesses. We are PBILaundry.com, your laundry consulting team. Let's talk about the laundry business.
What makes them unique?
Well, I'll tell you, there's nothing else like it. There's 30,000 or more of these laundries, all of them independently owned. They're necessity of life service businesses, for the most part all cash, and afford a free time like no other business. While they're not totally absentee, you have to have your mindset into the business, they do offer you a lot of time. For instance, Chris here, he operates the laundry that we're standing in with about 8 hours time a week, and that includes pretty much everything he needs to do. But it's essential that you have your business model in place. Okay, we're going to talk about how you get into this business, how much money you need, what are the returns, what are the rewards, what are the dangers. We're going to talk about the lease and the equipment and what our services are. We're going to want to tell them mostly right now about how much money they're going to need to get into this business. Typically the lenders are very aggressive. Business activity is very strong. The laundry industry is hot. The lenders are coming in and allowing you in now for as little as 35% down. How much do the laundries cost? They can range all up and down the board. We sold laundries as little as $50,000. We sell them a lot in the millions. So the median is probably $350,000, $400,000, but that's not what's important. What's important is what you're going to need to do to that laundry to get it up and go forward. So basically, you can get into this business for under $100,000. Most clients that we deal with are in the $150,000 to $350,000 cash range. So they're buying stores that are 2 and 3 times that amount, which would include the work and that sort of thing. So the returns will vary depending on a lot of different factors that we'll explain to you. But the buy-in itself is typically at the 17 to 20% cash flow basis. In other words, if you take your monthly cash flow and multiply it at 60 times, that's somewhere in the range that the target price range is. But there's so many variables, you really can't go by that kind of a multiplier. You have to condition, it's based a lot on the condition of the equipment, the condition and quality of the lease, the potential of the marketplace, what's left on the table to go forward with. Because in the end, we want to get that up to 24, 26% returns. Chris, you want to talk a little bit more?
Yeah, let me touch base a little bit on the rewards and dangers of the acquisition of a coin laundry and operations. This being a cash business, there's a lot of red flags, right? How do we know that the income's the way that say it is? How do we know that what their true net is going to be a value of the store? So the rewards that I see in this industry, the free time. This is an extremely passive income that allows you to get the highest return on any passive income stream that I've ever seen. It allows me personally to be able to spend time with my family, to be able to take trips, and be able to set up an income stream while doing my career, which is the coin laundry industry. What are some of the dangers? There's a lot of little dangers. Not knowing what you're buying as you're getting into the store.
Number
okay?
one.
That's the most important one. Not knowing the quality of lease, or not understanding the quality of lease, not understanding the age of the equipment.
There are a lot of dangers in buying these businesses because you don't really know what the history is. Chris, tell them a little bit about it.
Yeah, so things that we're looking for red flags in this industry is the income, the water usage, the utility cost to the gross income. How's the quality of lease? What's the clientele look like? What's the demographics look like? Is there parking? You know, all these things are factoring into the dangers of a laundry that can stop it from being successful. Chuck, if you want to talk quickly about the lease and some equipment.
Well, yeah, you know, some of the things that you have to make sure are right. The laundry is developed with a specific model in mind. That model is long-term, in most cases in metropolitan areas at least. We're looking for 25, 30 years on the laundry lease, and it's very difficult to get when you go and release it. So the model is designed to have a series of options with it, and in those options, they're supposed to be renegotiated periodically to maintain the length of that lease. But unfortunately, many people get into this business that don't understand it, and they don't make sure that that lease is adequate. And when that happens, it can be very difficult to renegotiate an adequate lease. Getting 25 years is typically out of the picture in most cases, but at least 20 or 15 at the bare minimum. If we're under 15, it changes the whole model system. It's a whole different kind of a model. It's a cash flowing model as opposed to the investment business that we believe that this is made to be. So a lease is essential. We're very good at negotiating those and setting you up to negotiate them yourself if you're out of state and not using our brokerage services. As Chris said, there's just a lot of dangers. The lease is one, the equipment's the other. Yep. See, you have to not only know the age of the equipment, but also what make it is, what's the capabilities. You know, we do a lot of investigation on the individual equipment. We also investigate whether or not it's the right equipment mix for the store. You know, a store with the wrong equipment mix may not be profitable or very profitable. When we convert it and change the equipment mix, sometimes it's highly profitable. The store we were in is a good explanation of that. It was largely top loaders and small front load washers, and it had aged. It was in bad shape. I won't go into the details. Chris talks about that. But at any rate, it was in very bad shape. It was losing money. We took it over for Chris's own father and built this for him at a very reasonable price and with a good long-term lease to get going on. And this store is now doing more than 3 times what it did at that point. Highly profitable. And those are the things we like to look for. Now, you may not look at a laundry that needs that much work, but the work is paid back to you at a higher rate of return than the initial rate of return. In other words, if you're buying a store at a multiplier in the area of 60, and once again, I'm not recommending this. There's too many variables to recommend a multiplier. But if you are buying a laundry with a multiplier of around 60, which is fairly typical, you have to know how that's going to play out down the road. You don't want to forfeit that store at the end of the lease. You want to be able to renegotiate that lease. You want to make sure that the equipment that's not going to last is going to be replaced, and you're going to have a plan going forward that's going to make sense to do that. You've got to understand the business you're getting into. And the failure of this business is that people buy them for the cash flow without understanding the business. Now, those are also opportunities for our buyers. And the reason is because a lot of these people who bought these stores under those conditions don't understand the business. They left all of the upsides on the table. They left the improvements that you can make to multiply your incomes on the table because they didn't know how to implement them and they weren't expecting to. A lot of people will buy a laundry. Say you buy a laundry for $300,000. You get in it, the cash flow's good, everything's fine, then things start breaking down. When you finally get down to the answers, you realize you have another $100,000 or $150,000 you might have to invest in that store. Well, frankly, you weren't prepared for that. And you don't know the advantages of it. Actually, that was a good thing if you had been prepared for it, or could have been a good thing. But on the backside, it's aggravating. And a lot of people find this out, they operate the store, cash flow it out for a while, and try to sell it to somebody else that doesn't know. We want to catch those people, and that's one of the things we bring to the table. Chris?
So how do we work? Chuck and I work 100% as a team. Every communication with clients will go through both of us. Chuck has expertise in lease, deal negotiations, in many other aspects, and I handle the diligence a lot as well as the foot on the ground.
And the escrows.
And escrow.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck, explain kind of our services and what we provide.
Well, what we do, let me just back up a second. We started this because when the financial collapse occurred back in 2008 and 9, we closed my company at that time. There was no distributing anything. We were a distributor. Nobody was buying anything. We closed that down, and Chris and I were together. He had come to work for me a few years earlier, and we determined that we needed to find where we really fit into this business, and it truly wasn't in equipment. We don't like just brokerage. You know, that as a business itself, it's a little rough. And we asked ourselves what's really needed out there, and guidance is the answer, because so many laundry owners just got into it, don't know what they're doing. How many times do we go in after the fact and bail them out, like our friends in Orange County did, and just have to kind of reevaluate the whole thing, find out how much it's going to cost to make things happen and what kind of return they should get, then renegotiate the lease, organize the equipment purchases and those sorts of things. That's all part of this process. And you have to be prepared for all of that at the beginning. We make sure you are. Our services are there to protect you and to guide you and to act as your broker if that's the choice that's made.
We start every new client off on an online consulting package. That package fee is $2,950. And what this includes is unlimited reviews of potential laundries, whether you send them to us through online sources or through stores that you walked into, or we make suggestions on contacts that we know, and we work with you to try to identify a good location. This will include up until the acquisition.
So basically, what we're saying is that we have one full diligence package that's complete. It does tear down by quarters. If we go into diligence and that store doesn't work out, you don't lose the entire thing. We start from ground zero, but we do back out that first quarter. If you go into 2 quarters of the diligence, then we back out the 2 seconds, and you'd repay us for those only. But the program is designed to go on through your acquisition. We've had people wait a year, go off the market, come back and buy a laundry. There's no timeline on our services. It's until you've actually acquired a laundry. Now, we provided a lot of additional services through and after the fact. As for instance, if you decide and we decide, we can be your broker. We are exclusively buyer's brokers. We no longer take listings. And therefore, we give our total dedication to bringing your services or your needs to light. For those clients who are out of state, where we're not licensed, we do offer intermediary services so that we can assist you in the actual negotiations. But even without the negotiations being handled by us, we prepare you for those. That's our job through the diligence. The $2,950 will probably be the best investment you made in your purchase of the laundry, because you're going to know the condition of the store, the potential to go forward, what kind of a model you're going to need to build going forward, what kind of reinvestment you're going to have. And you're going to be encouraged to make those investments. You're going to be shown reasons why you will and what the advantages are. Costs in this business are broken down, or expenses in this business are broken down into costs, and other cash flow item would be reinvestment. The cash flow money that you receive in the business is yours. You can reinvest it or you can keep it. Your discretionary income, say it's somewhere in the area of 16, 17, 20%, or more. If we find a laundry and you get it moving along, you can build that 24, 26%. That's actually our objective, is to find those stores that have the potential to move to the 24, 26% of investment. You have to consider the reinvestment, okay? Whatever the stage of the business is now, in order to succeed, you're gonna want to advance that store, and you're gonna want to modify the model to get it to the next level. Okay, your reinvestment model, or your reinvestment will come primarily out of your cash flow going forward. And that is not to be considered an expense. That's a reinvestment, of which you should receive a return on, and a greater return than on the original investment. And that's the way this model is designed. It's designed to encourage reinvestment into your business, beautifying the store, adding things, making it more comfortable for your customers, in addition to having better machines, lower water using machines, quicker machines, machines that can be paid for from a program from your phone, for instance. These things are all available now and exceptional in this business. So what we want to do is take a look at these stores and see what it has in it, what can be done. First, we have to see what's wrong with it and what needs to be corrected. So we build a model as we go. The original model that it is right now, and we take a look at, we find the errors in it and create the new model. That's basically what you should be able to expect to accomplish, and we take a look at what the potential costs are and the income that you should derive from it. Once you understand that, we can analyze the true value of the store, but we can also analyze what the store has potentially going forward. So you can employ us to draft a new model, and a lot of times you're going to want to find we're going to want to make those changes immediately, and you want to tie them into financing, which is also possible. And if you want to pull it into financing, then you need to have a model built that will show the cost of the equipment and all these things. And we do provide those sorts of services, along with a lot of guidance and oversight and that sort of stuff. Those are additional services that we offer here at PBIlaundry.com. We hope that this has been helpful for you. When you employ us, you'll be given a link that will direct you towards the search, the due diligence, and more videos, and search materials, and sample letters, and a number of things that will help you. Most importantly, will be the guidance you get from Chris and I. We thank you for joining us for this short webinar. We hope you join us for the live webinar, or contact us to learn more about our services. And thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you for watching. We hope the information provided was helpful. If you're looking for laundry assistance, contact us today. And remember, follow us on social media, like, and subscribe. I'm Chris Mason with Chuck Post. We are PBILaundry.com.